Hey guys, thanks for visiting and watching my videos. In this video, I'm actually going to upgrade my TT-02 again, and this is the Tamiya TT-02, and I swore to myself that I wasn't going to do anything else with this car and that I was happy with it and there's nothing more to do and this car is completely finished, because this car has been quite the money pit. And at the end of the day, it's still just like an entry-level car, and it's still only a 50-50 drift car, and you don't get very extreme angles with it, and it doesn't look as cool as like a rear-wheel drive or a counter steer drift car. But it's still a lot of fun to play with, around the car park for a bash. Well, the reason I really wanted this upgrade is that I'm actually sick of this rear wheel wobbles quite a bit, and there's nothing much we can do about it. I have tried replacing it with this stainless steel pin here. You should get one of those if you don't have one. They're quite cheap. Tamiya makes them. You just have to get the right size. I'll try to find the part number and put it in this video or in the description. So you put it up here and down there, and I think that's it. You just need 4 of them. I think they come as a set of 4, and the wheel still wobbles. I even try shimming it and not much I can do about it. I'm pretty sure the only way to fix it is to replace this upright here, and unfortunately replacing that upright is actually very expensive still. I mean, I think they go about $15 to $20 even for the aftermarket ones from Year Racing and such. And I don't know, because I feel like that's not, that's too much money to spend to fix this problem and show you how bad this wheel wobbling issue is. It makes the car sound really loud, and I used to think that it was actually the gearing inside, but no. I've checked the gearing. The gearing is smooth as, but it's simply this thing here. I think if I put my finger here, it'd be nice and so that's nice and smooth because I'm holding the car. But as soon as I remove my finger, oh, there we go. So it starts wobbling. I don't know. I mean, most of you, that's going to be fine, but I find it annoying. I can't stand it. I think I can still sell these parts here. The reason I'm going to replace them, I mean, these parts are valuable. I can still sell them, and I can still sell the, the universal shaft. If I sell those on Trade Me or eBay or whatever, I could just about get my money back from buying these, because these things were so cheap. They were only $39, and the combination of these, adjustable camber set from Tamiya, and also the drive shaft, drive axle, and cups set here for front and rear. I think I could get about 40 bucks for it. So these things will pay for itself, and then I'll get a better car. You get the suspension arm, new drive shaft, all the ball joints, everything. Even you get this aluminium 5mm wheel hub here. That's awesome. It will even be compatible. The best thing about a TT-02 is that you can adjust the wheelbase from short and standard, and using this Porsche body here, a Porsche body, you need to use the shorter wheelbase. Also comes with all the turnbuckles you need. I'm going to be fitting those on. And the best part about this suspension arm is that you know, the caster is adjustable. You can get 8 degrees, 12 degrees, 16 degrees. Although I will only be using the 8 degrees in this car because you don't need such a high caster with a 50-50 car. Although I might test it out just for fun. And then the toe is also adjustable. You know, it's nice to have. You can go from 0, 1 or 2 degrees toe at the rear. Although I will only be running 0 degrees toe. That's really no point of running 1 or 2 degrees. And you know, you'll get adjustable camber at the top, which means this is going to replace, you know, this entire upper arm section. This chunky looking thing here is going to be gone. Also the rear camber section is going to be gone. These arms here is going to be gone, and this is going to be gone. Yeah, so I think the wheel width should still be the same. Give me the exact same wheel width and I'll still be able to use my Porsche body with it. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these things and show you the comparison. So I've just removed the damper here and the wheels, and I think this is going to be pretty easy to take this out. I'm just gonna pull this off. It's pretty easy. Okay, so that just comes off like that. Notice I got a little shim here. You should do that if you're still using the old Tamiya stuff. I believe this is a, is it a 6mm or 5mm shim? Anyway, measure it. So we're gonna need this part. So this is it. This is the comparison for the rear. So that versus that versus that. So we got this chunky little thing here and versus that. All right, let's weigh them. Now, I'm not sure if you can see that. That is 30.4 versus this one, 30.5. Oh, wow, surprising, no difference. Oh well, that's that. Diameter here at the end is a little too big, so we'll switch that and we'll fit this in. Okay, I figured it out. So you need to create this in order to hold these things here. So what you need to do is get one of these parts here, you put it through the back, then you need one of these long grub screw that comes with the kit, and I would just like that, and then you need to get a washer. This comes with the kit too, and right, you go through that, put the washer like so, then get a ball joint, also comes with the kit, just lock in that ball joint. There we go. So this is an interesting take on it. This is all new to me, so I'm just figuring this out as I go. The instructions not very clear, and it's in Japanese. Alright, so it fits in like that. So we don't actually need this piece here. This piece can be removed, although it might look ugly without it. I don't know. I would probably remove it. Let me just lock in the screws right here. yeah, you can see I need to put a spacer here, so they have included, you know, sorry, this is all the parts here. They have included some spacers here that is probably, you need to put it on the bottom here, because you can see the suspension is inclining inwards a bit and not the right position. So I need to play around with that and see how we go. But it's looking pretty good. Right, so sorry, just leave that. This was the original part, and I've got the rear fitted, and you can see here, sorry, right here, I had to use the spacer and another one of those ball joints, which is the same up here. And I resolved the binding issue. The binding issue was because of this ball joint here. It was real stiff. I mean, their adjuster, the Eagle Racing adjuster, is not as good as Tamiya. The plastic is a bit stiff. I will probably replace this with Tamiyas later with some of my spares. But you just gotta wear them out a bit, wiggle it around, and then that stops them from being stiff. But looks like it's working perfectly for the short wheelbase, and the suspension feels way better. It works a lot better than these things. So and the wheel wobble, I probably need to add a little bit of shim, but I'm not expecting any more wheel wobbling. So yeah, let's see if this this fits. And it does. Here we go. Wheelbase still correct. So I love it when everything just goes according to plan. Let's see if my wheel wobbling issue is gone. If I turn this on. Oh, that's great. That's definitely a lot smoother. Look at the difference. So this is more like the TT-02 Type S style suspension arms, but I think it's better and way cheaper than converting into a TT-02 Type S. And wow, the suspension feels way better. There's just something about these chunky suspension arms that stops it from these dampers from working properly. I don't know what it is, but you can see at the front here, and I have fixed this, but it's not as bad. But you can't really see from the picture, but it feels a lot better when you physically touch it. Way more bouncier. Alright, so I'm gonna move on and finish up the front arms, and then we've got a complete set. So just like before, they slide in the original position, and you just gotta put this on, slide it through, and you know, screw it on. Right, so I got the front parts on, and yep, worked perfectly. Massive steering angles now. Not that you really need it, but it's handy. You can see how this part fits on. Just slides in the stock position. Like so. So I'm using the short wheelbase version, so you know, you use a different different length spacer, so this can be adjusted forward and backward to adjust for wheelbase. And I added that spacer there. Guess I mentioned that before. And yeah, so all I gotta do is just hook it up to the steering. And that's right, as a bonus, I actually decided to also switch away from the TT-02 Type S steering. So right now I'm using the TT-02 Type S steering here, which, you know, I think it was a mistake, even though, you know, I managed to make it fit. But this is more of a racing type steering, and the stock TT-02 I think is more appropriate. And this is also from Eagle Racing, and it's only 10 bucks or 11 bucks for the set, which is absolute bargain. And I'm pretty sure I'll be able to sell this TT-02 Type S steering for like 20 bucks or something, because I paid way more than that. Tamiya stuff are sometimes really expensive. And yeah, so I'll switch that off, and I'll get back to you. Right. So front part's all done, and I've also switched the TT-02 original steering system, steering wiper, and this is the Eagle Racing version. Looks great. So steering angles is more or less the same as the original stock, but I think it's a little bit better. We can improve the steering angle by changing the ball joint position to be more inward there, and then you will get more steering angle on both sides. But the disadvantage of moving the ball joint up further is that it will increase the ackerman, which is something we may not necessarily want. For drifting, usually we run only a little bit of ackerman or zero. Like, you want that parallel steering so that the car will crab sideways. But that's something to experiment with. You know, we have these options. And one of the reasons we switched back to the old TT-02, when it's closer to the steering arms here, it gives you more of a bump steer. So when the car accelerates, can you see how you get more toe when the wave shifts backward? All right, so when I lift the car, you get that toe. You can see this right wheel here turns that way, and you get more toe, more tie out on the front tires. So when you accelerate, you get way more toe, and that gives you that bump steer. And when you get more toe like that, it's going to increase your steering. It's going to make you easier to turn on acceleration on throttle. Whereas with the Type S steering, because the location of the joint is near the center, that toe changes, that bump steer, you know, is less pronounced, which is, so it makes it more consistent, so the toe more or less remain the same on throttle and on braking. But that's what, you know, that's what racer wants with a racing style steering. But this is more of a drift style steering. That's why you see most drift cars, the steering is more closer to that is for that bump steer. Right, so this is something I need to play around with, and I'm gonna play around with this car, test it outside and see how it goes. But so far the suspension feels way better. Let's put on the body, see if it still fits. And there we go, and body fits. So I'm pretty pleased with this. This is an amazing kit for $39. It has transformed the car completely. Took a bit of time to install. You expect to spend a couple of hours, I still need to play around with it, make sure I got like correct settings and stuff. Then I'll take it outside for a spin. Definitely got rid of my wheel wobbling problem. Now it feels more like a proper car. Really have upgraded this car. You can see what's left over here is, you know, these are all the parts that are replaced. That's all the parts that are replaced there. And I'm gonna sell all these bits here, and I'm sure I'll get good money for it. All right, I'll be back next time with the demo run. Thanks for watching, and see ya.